Teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, God's nature. It is the nature of the lamp to give light. With its help, some may cook food, some may forge deeds, and some may read the Bhagavata. Is it the fault of the light? So, is it the fault of God that some try to attain salvation with the help of His holy name, while others use His name for success in attempted theft? You get what you seek. God is like the Kalpataru, that is, the wish-yielding tree. Everyone gets from him what he seeks. A poor man's son, having received education and become a judge of the High Court, is apt to think that he is all right. God also echoes his thought and says, "Do thou continue so." Afterwards, when the same judge has retired on pension, he begins to see things in their true light and puts to himself the question, "What real work have I done in this life?" God echoes his words and says, "Yes, very true. What hast thou done?" God is like the divine wish-yielding tree, which gives whatever one asks of it. So, one should be careful to give up all worldly desires when one's mind has been purified by religious exercises. Just hear a story. A certain traveler came to a large plain in the course of his travels. As he had been walking in the sun for a good many hours, he was thoroughly exhausted and was heavily perspiring. So he sat down in the shade of a tree to take a little rest. Presently, he began to think what a comfort it would be could he but get a soft bed there to sleep upon. The traveler had no idea that he was sitting under the divine tree. As soon as the above thought rose in his mind, he found a nice bed by his side. He felt much astonished, but all the same stretched himself on it. Now he thought to himself, how pleasant it would be were a young damsel to come there and gently stroke his legs. No sooner had the thought arisen in his mind than he found a young damsel sitting near his feet and stroking his legs. The traveler felt supremely happy. Presently he felt hungry and thought within himself, I have got whatever I have wished for. Could I not then get some food? Instantly he found various kinds of delicious food spread before him. He at once fell to eating, and having helped himself to his heart's content, stretched himself again on his bed. He now began to revolve in his mind the events of the day. While thus occupied, he thought to himself, if a tiger should attack me all of a sudden. In an instant, a large tiger jumped upon him and broke his neck and began to drink his blood. In this way, the traveler lost his life. Such is the fate of men in general. If during your meditation you pray for men or money or worldly honors, your desires are no doubt satisfied to some extent. But mind, there is the dread of the tiger hidden behind the gifts you get. Those tigers, disease, bereavements, loss of honor and wealth, etc., are 1,000 times more terrible than the live tiger.